What's up everyone, hope you guys are doing alright. In this video, we're just gonna talk about my Friday trade on September 1st. I took 4 trades, 1 swing and 3 day trades, and yeah, let's just get straight into it. On Friday, September 1st, I took a Nvidia put, and this was the biggest trade of the day with a profit of $1,203. And basically, what I saw on the hourly chart was it was consolidating for, for the past few days, for the past 2 days, had a huge move up on the 29th of August. And so honestly, I was expecting, more chop. And I also kept in mind that there was a supply zone, that kept rejecting off that level every time. So keeping that in mind, my plan was to look for a supply rejection, for the downside, and to make money on some puts. So yeah, I went in with 6 contracts. And looking at the 2-minute chart, I saw this first rejection candle, this bearish candle at 6:30, another bearish wick candle, and then as it went lower and lower, I got in with 6 contracts at 6:36 a.m. and that was at a premium price of $3.15, and ultimately waited for another candle, no reason to get out, no reason to still get out with all these bearish wicks. And on this push down, I exited 3 contracts at 435 and 599. So that was around the low of this candle. And yeah, of course I could have maybe held some runners, but overall I was happy with the trade. It was actually my biggest trade ever. I've never crossed a P&L of $1,000, so definitely definitely a memorable trade. I think it'll only get better and bigger from here. If you guys haven't seen my previous video, I talked about me wanting to size up a little bit now that I saw some consistency and profitability in the past 2 months. So yeah, I'm ecstatic that I was able to cross $1,000 in profit just on one trade. So, and then you can see for the rest of the day, or right after I get out, after protecting profits for the meat of the trade, you can see that it has a pullback and it consolidates. And if you're still in this, or if you're still stalking it, you could have definitely seen that this trade made a bull flag or a bear flag, and you could have gone in right here with tight risk for more downside for a huge reward. So that would have been definitely another high probability trade that you could have taken. So that was the first of my 3 trades. And my next trade was Tesla. I actually entered around the same time as Nvidia. Yeah, so this was around the same time where I got in at 6:38 a.m. with 8 contracts. And yeah, honestly, I could have gone in earlier with Tesla. You can see that in the pre-market it kind of chops around the same level around here. In the previous day it did the same kind of choppy action. So usually when it's choppy for 1 or 2 days, you can expect for a big move either towards the upside or to the downside. So yeah, once I saw that it kind of made a doji candle and then a huge bearish candle, you can tell that there's a lot of weakness and rejection. And so I could have gone in earlier, maybe on this candle or this candle, but I decided to get in here at a premium price of 171 for 8 contracts. Got out in this push down for 40 cents of premium at 182, and then at 194, and at 190. So honestly, this wasn't the best kind of trade for me, because I definitely could have gone in earlier, like I mentioned, and I also could have held a little bit longer. Like, there was no reason for me to get out in this trade. And if you guys know, I monitor my trades on the 2 and the 5-minute chart. So yeah, ultimately there's actually no reason for me to get out, but you know, maybe because it was a Friday and also the start of a new month, you know, it being September, maybe I just wanted to trade, or maybe I just wanted to lock in a green day for the first day, you know, have a good psychological start and boost to the month. But ultimately, there's actually no reason for me to get out. Yeah, I mean, this was just like a doji-like pullback, and you know, prompted further downside all the way up to here. And so, yeah, definitely could have held a few more runners for a longer period of time. But other than that, that netted me $128, and yeah, so that was my second trade. My third trade, I entered Tesla puts as I saw that it was creating more downside, and that was also with A contracts. So yeah, I actually entered on this pretty late, and you know, catch myself in a pullback, which was honestly kind of stressful and brutal. But I was looking at the volume and reminding myself that it had a low volume, and yeah, it was very resemblant of a pullback or further downside. I also had levels in my chart. You know, you can't see it here because I'm looking through it with the software, but I had levels that, you know, targeted 245 right here and further downside. So yeah, honestly, I got out. I went in with 8 contracts at 152, got out at 191 and 217. So, and that was about 50 minutes of, you know, price action, which, you know, I kind of wasn't monitoring at all times. I just had my set stop loss and figured if it, you know, opened above that, I would get out of my position. But I was also doing some nursing modules at the same time, so it wasn't too brutal, you know, to sit and, you know, watch that play out. So you can see that right after I exited my position, mainly on like this push down and this candle right here, it gives you even a longer pullback until 1020, which, you know, $400, $500, that's good money. But this can be very stressful for some people, you know, like especially for me. I like my money fast, so you know, sitting through that kind of pullback, yeah, I mean, of course the money would be worth it. I mean, you know, in a regular 9 to 5, you know, you'd be working 40 hours to make, you know, $1,000 paycheck per week or whatnot. But yeah, when you can do that in a matter of, you know, 2 hours, definitely not something to really be complaining about. But also, you know, it's just a balance. So yeah, after that trade, I kind of, you know, I was happy with the profits that I made for the day, it being a Friday, and not wanting to give any more profits away. You know, just, you know, have a good start to the month, locking in about $1,700 of profit. I was very happy with that. I do have an open trade on Apple for a swing. It is a gap fill play, you know, to the upside. And let me pull up the Apple chart. Take a look at the daily chart on Apple. You can see that there's this gap. You can see that there's this gap fill that I'm thinking it wants to fill. So it's looking good for now, and it's looking good. It was looking good throughout the whole day. You know, when everything was selling off, Apple was remaining strong, and Apple was being Apple. You know, gives us two kind of weird dojis, but you know, it's still pushing to the upside. So I'm very well thinking that it's gonna push at least to 191, in which I'll just take my profits. It can very well try to test these highs again, but yeah, I think it would be a safe bet to take your profits over here. So yeah, I have 6 contracts on a swing for Apple. This is actually my first trade, my first swing trade ever, so didn't want to size too inappropriately too much on my first swing trade. I just wanted to kind of get a feel of, you know, what it's like to hold a position overnight, over the weekend. And so far it's looking good. If you take a look at, you know, the 15-minute chart and what it did on Friday, yeah, it had a huge sell-off, but it was still maintaining this kind of trend line. And if you have a 9 EMA or 21 EMA, it was holding that very nicely. throughout the day. And I could have definitely added on these little, you know, down little pullbacks to back to the, you know, moving average, but you know, I didn't want to, you know, size in more than I needed to, especially on my first swing trade ever. So yeah, that was that. Don't want to make this video too long. Just wanted to go over my trade on Friday. You know, profiting 1,700. Let's see what I actually made. Yeah, so profiting $1,737.09 for in one day, which is absolutely amazing. You know, I was working as a CNA at, you know, a Kaiser hospital, and I would work 3 days out of the week, and we would get paid bi-weekly. So for a paycheck, you know, working 48 hours, I was getting around $1,000 bi-weekly working part-time. So to make more than that in one day, in less than in a matter of from 6:30 to 8 a.m., an hour 30 minutes and 1,700 profit. You know, it just, you know, the numbers don't lie, and that statistic alone speaks for itself. So yeah, I hope, you know, this month can continue to, you know, bless me, and I hope that I can remain disciplined in my strategy, my philosophy. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.